Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, February 3rd, sorry, March 3rd. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we will get started shortly. So a couple things here to update, and we should be good to go. All right, solid. All right, great. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Go. All right, perfect. Looks like people are making their way in right now. So I'll get a few moments for people to join. Once the majority of people are in here, we'll start with our analysis for today. All right, perfect. All right, so let's see who's here so far. Morning, Ben Harwig. Morning, Peter. Morning, David. Morning, everybody. Looks like people are still making their way in right now. Hey, AR, how's it going? Morning. All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, March 3rd. It is 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. Looking over here at US30 or YM, whichever you want to call it. Looks like market is pretty bullish for today. So a couple of things here to look at. I have pretty much the 4 time frames open on my chart. We'll see how the market looks in a few once the market fully opens. But looking at all the charts over here from the higher time frames, you can see price is above the pivots. Pivots are angling up and the trend meter is green. Also looking on shorter time frames, 10-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute, price also looks bullish across the board here. So with that said, it looks like we'll be looking for buys today. Let me check the news real quick to see if there was anything this morning. I don't think there was anything today. Yeah, there wasn't anything earlier, but there is final services PMI and ISM services PMI this morning. So at 6:45 and 7, we have some high impact news. And then at 8 o'clock, we have Fed member Logan speaking. So 6:45, 7. I'm going to mark that up over here on this clean chart. We're going to update this real quick. All right, so 6:45 and 7 o'clock. Got news. Let me check my FX book, see if there's anything here for me to look at. Yeah, same thing, just high impact news at 6:45 and 7. So those are the 2 main news events for us to look out for today. All right, guys, market is going to open in about 2 minutes. So I was looking at the charts yesterday, guys, and a lot of people I've noticed have been taking a high-low scalp. Some people are asking me, how can you determine if like a good confluence to the high-low scalp. The thing that I started to notice is that if you see like a variation that happens before the high-low scalp, it typically plays out pretty perfect. And I'll show you an example if I see one today on the live session. I think that's probably the best confluence to look at when applying the high-low scalp, because you get a confirmation of reversal and then you get a confirmation of continuation right after. So if I see anything good, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, basically, that's how C-Soup enters his entries as well. So if you guys, if I see anything that happens over here, I'll show you an example of it. But basically, you'd be looking for, like, say, for example, over here, you'd be looking for, a V1 variation. And then after that, you're going to see price push up. And then if it closes above the high, then that confirms a continuation. So you get a reversal, and then you get a continuation right after. All right, market is dumping super heavy right here. Market is now open at 630. This is the opening candle right here. I'm going to go ahead and mark up opening price. If price corrects back up, which I anticipate it to, it's going to pull back up to opening price. That's typically where I see price going back to. So we'll probably expect and anticipate a correction back up as price continues to, obviously move along. So here's the 4 timeframes right here. You guys can see huge dump right here across the lower timeframes. The higher timeframes here are still bullish, but on the shorter timeframes here, you see a huge slump to the downside. Yeah, I don't know if this will hold up. We'll see if this ends up holding up. But my guess is that we'll see a correction right back to the upside, back to opening price. I don't necessarily recommend entering any positions right here. Obviously, you want to wait for price to stabilize and provide some sort of entry for you guys to chase. Or not chase, but just take. I wouldn't chase this move here though, because it's pretty messy spike to the upside and to the downside. My guess is that price will correct back up and then it'll push right back up to the opening price. So let's see who's here so far. Morning, Martha. Morning, Sam. Morning, Maria. Morning, Gactive. Morning, Saren. Morning, Maddie. Morning, Shannon. Morning, everybody. Yeah, Maddie over here mentioned as well. He said momentum scalp and high low, and then also variation plus high low. Yeah, so that's something that Maddie's been using. Those are like 2 good confluences that you guys can use for entries, like a momentum scalp that goes into a high low, or a V1 variation to a high low. That's something that I personally have seen work pretty well. So if I see something like that come up, I'll let you guys know. Obviously, I'll go over here on the clean chart as well, or not the clean chart, but the 1 minute, and I'll try to identify these SR zones as well. So right now we don't have that bullish bias, but when price does swing back to the upside and price goes sideways, I'll try to see if there's any SR rejection scalps. So a lot of people have been asking, what strategies have other people been applying? Because you are seeing people post profits on for the live sessions, but for the live sessions, we're not taking any actual entries, right? Because the actual entries that we're looking for are not appearing. So the 3 strategies that we're personally looking for here in the live session are going to be the momentum scalp failure, momentum scalp variation, and momentum scalp. However, they haven't been coming up because the market hasn't been trending very much. If you look at the requirements for these strategies, the first requirement is to confirm the overall trend, right? If you can't confirm the overall trend, then obviously there's not going to be any entry for you to take, which I know has been a little bit frustrating because it's been very difficult to find entries on here. However, you guys will see that there are entries. It's just using different strategies. And the main strategies that people have been using have been the high-low scalp and the SR rejection scalp. So if I see any of those here, I'll mark them up and I'll show you guys. However, if you guys look into the course, you guys have access to those strategies, so you guys can watch them, whether you have access to the course or not. All of my strategies are on the YouTube channel as well. So if you go to my YouTube channel, just go to our website, kodikaitrades.com, click on get access to the live trading sessions on YouTube, or you can go straight to the channel, youtube.com/kodikaitrades. If you go scroll down a little bit and you go to Kodi Trades trading strategies right here, you click on this and you have the playlist of every strategy that is available, or not every strategy, but for the most part, majority of the strategies that are available. So yeah, you guys can pull them up over here and you can find the strategies that I'm referring to. Let me see if I could find the, let's see. The playlist is too far. Yeah, you have to be on the actual website. But yeah, if you pull up the YouTube channel, you can see all the strategies right here. But if you pull up the free intro course on the website, you can also find the strategies there. It'll be a lot easier for you guys to identify. Anyways, back to the charts over here, guys. There's nothing for us to look at. As you guys can see, the higher time frames here are still bullish, but the lower time frames over here are starting to shift to the bottom. I'm not really sure where price will go, because you can see over here on the lower time frames, price is trying to shift, but the higher time frames look like price may just reject off the pivot. So right here on the 30-minute, you can see price is rejecting off the pivot. This can be an easy shift back to the upside. So right now, there's definitely no direction. Hey, Kenny, morning. Let's see, question from Alan. Alan's asking, hello, Sean, it seems that we dump at the open. Is that true or just me? I think it might just be you. I don't think it's been dumping every day at the open. I mean, personally, I guess we can take a look, but I don't think that's been the case every single day. So the thing that you need to keep in mind is that the market is going to be, like, on open is going to be the highest area of manipulation, right? So I don't think it's been dumping every day. Oh, I can't say for sure, but I think it's just happened like maybe today and yesterday. So I don't know. We could probably go back and look. Let me just I'll open up the 1 hour. It's probably the easiest one to look at, because you can really see if price actually does dump down to the bottom. So let's see over here. So this is today. Obviously, price did dump today. Here's yesterday's, Thursday. Yeah, so looking over here on Thursday, price actually went up. So price did come slightly on open. We have to go on a lower time frame, because I think the 1 hour is not going to show enough data for us to see, what actually happens on open. I think the 10-minute would actually be a good time frame to look at. So yesterday at 6:30. So you can see here, it's just the initial candle right here on 6:30. Price came down slightly, faked out, and it shot all the way back up. Let's see what happened on a Wednesday. So Wednesday did the complete opposite, Alan. So you can see over here on Wednesday, price went straight up. It actually shot straight up on open. So I think it's just you. I don't remember market being dumping every single day. So it did on Tuesday too. So the majority of the days price did come down, but then it corrected back up. And then Monday as well, price actually went up. So 2 out of the 3 days price went up, 3 out of the 5 days price went down. So I think you might have just been looking at the drops, but it looks like for the most part, price has been going in both directions. Let's see Friday from last week. Friday from last week, price actually went up on open right here, the 6:30 candle. So price actually went up. Thursday, price went down. So it's been a back and forth movement. There hasn't been a clear direction, like pretty much for the past month of February, Alan. So I'm looking over here every day. I mean, it seems like price kind of just goes, I mean, sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, but it doesn't always dump. So I wouldn't really use that as a confluence to, like, maybe just hop into a sellout open. Yeah, I know it did seem like it, but I mean, I'm just looking back at the previous days over here. And there's back and forth days. Like, there's days where price will go down and there's days where price will go up. I mean, you might have been onto some sort of pattern. Maybe on certain days price goes down and certain days price goes up, because sometimes that could be the case. But I'm just looking back over here. So right here on Tuesday of last week, price actually went up on open. right here, this green candle. So like what I'm looking at right here is the 630 candle, because the 630 candle is going to determine, where price went the first 10 minutes of the market. So on some days price goes up, some days price goes down. If you want to go back and pull that data and just if you want to make a spreadsheet, you can probably figure out a pattern, Alan. Like just make a spreadsheet every single day, right? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, go to the 630 candle, see if it's a green candle. If it's a green candle, price went up on open. If it's a red candle, that means price went down on open. It looks like a mixed bag here, but you might be able to find some sort of pattern if you really look into it. So you can see right here on Monday, price went down. It looks like maybe every other day, price goes down. So you can see this red candle right here at 630, price went down on Monday. And then on Tuesday right here at 630, price went up. Because I mean, if you do find something that could be really lucrative, right? Because on open, you can just take a buy or a sell, catch like a quick move and make money off that trade. That's how you create a strategy, right? And that's pretty much what you can do to better yourself in understanding that. So, I mean, if you have free time and you want to figure something out like that, you can do that. I actually enjoy doing that. That's why I got so good at trading, because I would see these patterns. That's how I created the strategies that we use here today. I would see patterns that just would reappear, and then I would put requirements so that we can turn them into a specific strategy. And then from there, we would move forward. That's kind of how I created the breakout. So I think if you want to look into something like that, Alan, you could probably check out the regular breakout, not breakout 2.0, but the regular breakout. And I think that aligns with what you're looking for, because you've probably seen Daniel kind of mention pretty much every morning whenever the breakout hits, and even Rashida as well. She's been like confirming the breakout sometimes. Like right now, she just said in the chat, the 1 minute breakout was a sell. So if you look over here on the 1 minute, you can see we have a sell momentum. Price was below the pivots. This was, basically a straight out sell. And you can see the 30-minute candle, right? Or the 630 candle right here on open was a strong red candle, right? So if you were taking the breakout for today would have been a sell right there. It's not at full TP yet, but it was a sell. So, I mean, we'll see where it goes. I personally wouldn't have taken the sell here though, because the, for me, I look at the bigger picture. You can see over here on the higher time frames, I see that price is still bullish. So for me personally, I probably wouldn't have taken a sell or even looked at a sell, but not to say that it wouldn't work, because it does look like it could work if that was the case. However, I do see price pulling back up and probably pushing back up to opening price right there. So we'll see where this goes, but this is where I pretty much anticipate price to go to. The reason why I think price will go up is because I'm looking over here on the higher time frames. You can see we have a nice wick rejection off the 30-minute. We also have a nice wick rejection here off the 1 hour. So I'm kind of expecting price to push up even higher from this point. We got a double body right here on the 1 minute. Double body V1 rejection. So this is a reversal pattern. This could be the start of price pushing back up, looks like. I mean, who knows? There's no guarantee price will just push up like that. So I never recommend you guys just enter trades just because. You have to have some sort of analysis to confirm it, right? Like if I saw two candles here, like if I was looking at the 1 minute and I was looking at the 5 and 10, and I saw a V1 variation for pretty much all three time frames, I would immediately anticipate that price would continue pushing in that direction. Here's one thing to look out for here though. So you can see that we have a V1 variation setting up right here. So what I would look for is if you have this V1 variation, and this is the way that CSUK's been applying its trades. That's why sometimes you'll see CSUK posting profits. I mean, you guys have seen CSUK's profits. He makes crazy amount of profits. Like yesterday, CSUK made 3,100. He's basically looking for these V1 variations, and then he's waiting for price to, so he's looking at that as a confluence for reversal. And then when price comes down and breaks and closes past the low, that's where he makes his entry for a sell. So he uses this as a first confluence, and if price breaks and closes past the low over here, that's where he'll take his sell for a quick 100 pips, which is a really smart way to trade. So using this here, just looking at this as a V1 variation, that I know it's a strategy that you can apply for an entry there. Like you could have taken that for a sell if you really wanted to. V1 variation over here, confirm overall bias. The overall bias here is a buy, so I'm not really looking to take any sells right now, but if it was a sell, then you would have identified this as a V1 variation, and you could have taken this for a quick sell right there for a full TP, right? But what CSUK is doing is he's looking for this confirmation. He's also looking for price to break and close past the low. So if price breaks and closes past the low right there, he'll take the sell and he'll ride that down lower. So that is something for you guys to possibly look at if necessary. For me personally, I'm still trying to go in the direction of the trend. So it's not one I would necessarily take. So this is the first strategy that I mentioned, V1 variation, where the entry could have been taken up here. And then the confluence that CSUK has been using as well would be the high-low scalp right there. Confirm overall bias, confirm previous high-low, confirm price and break and close past the high-low. So if this here breaks and closes past this line right here, that's where you'd make your sell, or that's where he would make his sell. And then same with Maddie. Maddie's been doing the same thing. He's been looking for a momentum scalp. So say, for example, over here, you get a momentum scalp for a sell. He doesn't take that one initially, but if price breaks and closes past the low, that's where he'll make his entry down there. So there's a lot of different ways to trade, guys. I offer like over 20 strategies for you guys to apply, learn, and master. But for these live sessions, for these official trades, we're mainly looking for these entries right here. So going back to all of the charts, you guys can see over here that the 10-minute is currently indecisive because price is in between the pivots. The pivots are angling sideways, and the trend meter down below is green. Over here on the 5-minute, you can see price is doing the same thing. It's kind of in between the pivots. The pivots aren't really angling up or down. They're kind of going sideways, and the trend meter down below is blue. So since there's no overall trend over here on the 1, 5, and 10, there's no entries we can take with regard to the official strategies. So the official strategies over here for the first criteria, it requires that we look for the overall trend, right? We confirm the overall trend on the 1, 5, and 10. There's no overall trend. So without that, we can't move on to step 2. Thanks, guys. Here's the news candle right here. News was neutral. I'm gonna go ahead and mark up news price down below. There we go. Great. Thanks, guys. Yeah, just marking up news price for the red flags. It's still nothing for us to take right now, obviously. All right, looks like price is pretty much just ranging for the moment. Price is rejecting directly off the sessions right now, as you guys can see. Clear rejection right there. Look at all the charts here. Higher time frames are still looking like a buy. The 30-minute, 1 hour, and 2 hour time frames all pushing to the upside, still looking like a buy right here. The lower time frames over here are still neutral. So the 5 here is pretty indecisive along with the 10. What we're looking for here is we're looking for price to either stay below or to swing back above and stay above here. Once we get that, we can have some sort of direction. Once we have a direction for the shorter time frames, we'll be good to look for some buys or some sells here on the 1 minute. But at the moment, we just don't have an overall trend. So in order for us to take any type of entry, we need to have at least some sort of overall trend. What I'm going to do over here on this chart is I'm going to mark up the SR zones, because another strategy that Dejan has been applying would be the sorry guys, the SR rejection scalp. So there's an entire zone right here. Yeah, price isn't bullish yet though. So if this gets too messy, guys, just let me know. I'll clean it up. But I'm just drawing these zones over here too. So if you guys are wondering which strategies people are applying, there's a couple different strategies. Some people are applying the high-low scalp. Some people are applying the momentum scalp. Some people are applying the SR rejection scalp. There's just a ton of strategies that you guys can utilize if you guys have access to the course, because I teach all my strategies within the course. But on these live sessions for our official trades, we're only looking for these 3 right here. The reason why I didn't look at any of these other strategies was because I didn't want to confuse people. But now a lot of people are asking, which strategies are there people applying? And, we keep an eye out for them, but we're not necessarily going to be applying them just yet. The only strategy that we might start applying would be the SR rejection scalp, which is why I put the zones here on the chart, because the market has been ranging for the past month, and that strategy is perfect for ranging markets. So we'll keep going back and forth to see, but, if the charts get too messy, I'll take off the zones. And if you guys aren't comfortable with that, then just let me know, because I'll make changes. But it seems like a lot of you guys here want the full analysis for when there is even any other entries that are not official. But just keep in mind, guys, these are going to be the official strategies. If I see them, I will let you guys know. But right now we have no overall trend. So we need price to confirm an overall trend on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 3 minute timeframes, which we don't have yet. Once we get that, great. But at the moment, there is nothing for us to take right now. If you look over here on the 5 and 10, it looks like price is pushing above. So if price continues to push up higher, then we may have a bullish bias. And if that's the case, then we can start looking for buys here. But at the moment, we just don't have that yet. All right, I'll just keep this chart open. This chart's easier to identify the overall direction. Just don't have an overall direction right now. However, looking at everything here, I think price will push up higher. So here's a clean chart. As you guys can see, price is inching and inching its way up to opening price. So target price point here, obviously, is going to be the opening price. It's where we're probably expecting price to go. But it's having trouble getting past the pivots. As you guys can see over here on the 1, 5, and 10, price keeps rejecting directly off the pivots right here. So it's having trouble getting past it. In order for us to get that bullish bias, we need price to actually break and close past that area. So here's a setup that I'm probably going to be looking at myself. I'm probably looking at price pushing above. So I'm going to take off these SR zones right now because we don't have a bias yet. Once we have a bias, we can start looking for any possible SR rejection entries. But right now, we just don't even have the confirmation of direction yet. So we don't even know which direction we want to even trade in. Yeah, Jalon said people are sitting out waiting for news. Yeah, we have high impact news coming up over here again at 7 o'clock. It's 6:52 right now, so about 8 minutes till news. So I agree with you too, Jalon. I do expect price to, or I expect a lot of people sitting out and waiting for news to happen so that we can see how price reacts to it. I'm thinking it'll push price up though. Not a lot of sideways movement here. So you can see market open over here at 6:30, guys. This is the opening price. Price came below, and now it's just been ranging and consolidating around this bottom area for the past 30 minutes or so. Price is attempting to push up, but every time it gets close to the higher side, it just comes right back down. Yeah, Jalon said probably one of those little dumps and a big pump. Yeah, I could probably see that too, Jalon. So here we go. Price is attempting to shift above. Let's see if it ends up closing. So the 5 minute over here, I think the main thing to look out for, the 5 and 10, is if price closes above the, the pivots right there. This right here looks like it might even be a triple confluence, guys. If you guys are familiar with that strategy, price is closing above it. And it looks like if it closes with that buy signal, it might push up to the opening price. Push up and probably reach the open price right there, target price point that we were discussing. There he goes, price pushes up. So here's a clean chart that I marked up, guys. You guys can see we already anticipated this to happen. I drew, the arrow here pointing towards opening price, and price reached the target price point of open right there. So it didn't close with the buy signal there. If it closed with the buy signal, it could have possibly been a triple confluence. Also, there was no buy signal there, so it wasn't a high-low scalp either, but I do expect price to, obviously keep pushing up. So we'll see if this here keeps pushing up. But as I mentioned, this thing played out pretty much perfect with my markup over here. So I took that as a speculative sell. Obviously, it's not accounted as an official trade, but we anticipated this to happen. Right. Maddie took it too. Nice, Maddie. So if you guys are listening to my analysis, you guys know exactly where price is going, because I've been explaining that this is going to come up for like a long time now. The reason why I knew this was going to come up was because I was looking over here on the multiple time frames. I kept telling you guys that on the higher time frames over here, that price was going to push up, right? Because I saw there was a wick rejection, and I saw that price has been bullish. The overall trend here has been bullish on the higher time frame. So I was like, okay, the lower time frames here need to confirm. And the reason why I took the buy there is because I was waiting for price to break and close past the pivots, which it did. And then it ended up pushing all the way up. So it's just a correction. Like, it's pretty much correcting to where it's supposed to be, which is above. I'll take a screenshot of my profits. I didn't really make too much. Looks like I got cut out a little bit. Yeah, looks like I got hit with some slippage, but it's all good. Slippage happens. So now that we have this bullish bias, guys, we could probably start looking for some bias here, hopefully, if price does stay above. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to mark up the SR rejection or SR zones in case you want to look for some SR rejection entries. But I mean, it just doesn't look like we'll have any here. So I'll come back and take a look at that later. Yeah, because I don't see any SR rejection scalp entries right now. But yeah, let me just take a screenshot of my my trades. I got caught in some slippage there. Should have made a full 1,000, but I made partial. I think it's easier to just take the screenshot on my phone because it looks a lot clearer. All right, guys. So I just want to reiterate what I mentioned to you guys earlier this week. So someone is asking, like, how do I deal with stress? The thing with trading, guys, is that you will always be stressed no matter what. The main thing that you want to understand is that it's okay to be stressed trading. You just don't want to be distressed, right? Like, distressed is like when you're stressed out, but you don't know what to do and you're starting to freak out. When you're stressed, that's fine. If you're acting cool and calm, under stress, then that's perfectly fine. But when you guys start to act distressed, where you like are too scared to do anything, that's where it becomes a problem. So it's okay to be stressed, guys. You guys should be stressed when you guys are trading. Whenever you guys take a trade, you should have some sort of fear when taking it, not like enough to distress you and you start to freak out and you want to pull out of the position. But small stress is okay. That's normal with trading, right? You're always going to get stressed out when you're taking any type of risk, whether you're gambling, whether you're playing a sport, whether you're taking some sort of test, you're always going to be stressed out regardless. But the key thing is that you're able to control your feelings when you're under stress, so that your trade psychology won't screw up your trade. So here are the profits across all my accounts so far. You guys can see I made 930 on my FTMO. I was supposed to make 1,000 on that. Here's my MFF number 1. Obviously some slippage. I made 780. My MFF number 2, 750, and my MFF number 3, 750 as well. So nothing crazy there. It's just a small speculative move as I knew price was going to push up to opening price right there. So when price pushed up, I pretty much just wrote it for a quick 100 pips right there, just to finish out the move. It's all speculative though. There's no specific entry for it. It's just I knew price was going to push up at least to opening price. So I took it for a quick little push, took that profit there and then pulled out. And here we are waiting for the next move to come up. There was also another entry right here. This was actually a momentum scalp. But it was just a little risky because it was so close to opening price right here, and the candle is kind of big. So I don't know if anyone caught this momentum scalp right here. But yeah, I went straight to profit target right there. All right, we got news candle coming up shortly at 7 o'clock. We'll see how price pushes from here. And then from there, we'll start to identify what's next. I'll just take individual profits. And I haven't taken any screenshots of my profits in like 2 days because I haven't taken any trades. So it feels good to have another, or to have a 1 day, or actually have profits to share. It's crazy. I didn't even take speculative trades in the past couple of days. I just knew the market was moving kind of iffy, so I didn't decide to take anything. So yeah, it feels good to be back in the game. Gonna take a little hiatus there with the market conditions. All right, we're on news candle right now. Let's see, question from Laura. Laura said we don't have a buy momentum on the 10-minute, right, for momentum scalp. Oh yeah, let me check that real quick. Yeah, we actually didn't have a buy signal there, so there actually wasn't a momentum scalp there. Thanks, Laura, for confirming that. I didn't even bother to take a look at that. I just saw the buy signal above. So that right there was actually not a momentum scalp, Maddie. That was a pivot scalp, as you call it. Yeah. So there's two different ways of applying that strategy, guys. If you guys are older members and you guys know the pivot scalp strategy, this strategy here is still an entry. It's an entry called a pivot scalp, not a momentum scalp. But thanks, Laura, for confirming that. So this right here was not a momentum scalp. It was a pivot scalp. I got confused with it too because I didn't check to see if there was momentum at all the time frames. So yeah, Dejan said pivot scalp confuses him. Yeah, no, the pivot scalp is kind of confusing. That's why this momentum scalp is a lot easier. The main difference between the momentum scalp is that you need to have momentum on 3 time frames. So big thanks to Laura for confirming that, because people would get confused if we kept identifying it as a momentum scalp. There's a buy signal here, no buy signal on the 10. So you need a buy signal on all 3 time frames in order for it to be considered a momentum scalp entry. However, as Maddie mentioned, this here is the same entry, but it's called a pivot scalp. There's a lot of different entries that we apply. If you go over here and you pull up the strategies, the strategy that Maddie's referring to is this one right here, the 1 minute pivot scalp. Right, confirm overall bias. We already identified everything was bullish. Confirm valid K2 momentum signal. There was a buy signal right there. Confirm price is above for a buy, above the pivots, which it is. And that's why Maddie could have taken that there for a pivot scalp. The main difference with the pivot scalp is that it just doesn't require momentum on all 3 time frames. All right, huge drop right here, as you guys can see. The news candle is really causing price to drop super heavy. So let me go over here to the 1 minute chart and go to market news price. And what a messy market today, right? Just when you thought the market was going to start to move smoother, it just starts to move all crazy again. All right, so looking over here on the higher time frames, guys, you can see that the market was heavily affected by that news candle. So that news that came out at 7 really dumped price super heavy. Let me see the news that came out. It was inflation news, ISM services PMI. It was positive, but price came down super heavy, right? So we'll see if price corrects back up. I mean, this is a good thing. I like when price does this and it does the opposite, because this just provides opportunity for price to swing right back up, right? So price is down below here. Where do I see price coming back at some point? I see it coming right back up to opening price. So I actually like when this happens. Some people don't like this when this happens because they think that throws off price. And the thing is, they're right. It does throw off price, but it throws off price in a good way, because then that price needs to correct back up to where it's supposed to be. So just keep that in mind whenever you guys are looking at stuff like that. Always remember that there's always going to be a next move. So whenever price goes against you, like say, for example, you're looking for a buy, where price dumps super heavy based off news, that's actually a good thing, because now you have all this extra space below for price to correct back up. So, just think of it as getting in at a discount if you're looking for a buy. So let me just post up my profits for that first trade I took. I just took one trade, so there's nothing else for me to post up right now. And I'll put a description there so that you guys can understand. So my guess is that price is going to push up from where it's currently at right here. This is all manipulation from news. I'm expecting price to push all the way back up. All right, so these are the only profits I have right now. Looks like a couple of you guys here took those trades with me earlier as well. So I'll post that up too. All right, so let's see. Patricia over here posted her profit. She took that buy with us earlier. Total profit of 1,375 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. And then here's Patricia's second account, total profit of 2,395, all wins as well. Great work, Patricia. We have Eunice over here. He took that buy as well. He said, you mentioned from the beginning that it will go back up. So I took it that trade actually hit TP, but there's no green color. Yeah, I got the same thing too, Eunice. No green strip on my end, but you did hit your TP as well. So total profit for Eunice over here, 220 for the day. Took that same buy I took earlier this morning. And I think that's it for right now. If you guys have more profit to post up, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, might want to wait for a bit. Yeah, Maddie said 1 win, 1 loss so far. Going to wait and sit for a nice entry. Yeah, so Maddie over here for the day is currently up 250, but for the week, he's up like well over 11,000. So nice work, Maddie. Yeah, be smart. Don't throw away your profits, on a Friday. Yeah, well over 10K for the week. All right, price is dumping super heavy right here. So price is still reacting to the news, guys. This is probably the best time to sit out of the market and just wait for price to recuperate where it's going. As you guys can see, price is rejecting directly off the sessions right here. So this might be the bounce where price swings all the way back up. But obviously, you guys don't want to be chasing anything. You just want to wait. You're basically fishing. So like the analogy I'm always going to use, guys, is that you should compare trading to fishing. You're not necessarily looking to catch every single small fish. You're looking to catch that perfect fish that comes. So really, it's just waiting for those perfect opportunities to come up. You got to be patient. You got to be disciplined, and you got to be consistent. So just keep that in mind. For me right now, I'm not looking for anything right now. However, if you look over here on the higher time frames, you can see how price is rejecting off the pivots. What do you think this is setting up for? This is setting up for a shoot to the upside, right? If you see this rejection here, confirm. So here on the 2 hour, this has about an hour, 52 minutes left on it, but you can see how it's rejecting off the pivot right there. This 1 hour has 52 minutes left on it. It's rejecting off the pivot right there. And this 30-minute time frame could push up in the next 20 minutes, and it can reject off the pivot right there as well. If you have a nice rejection off all these pivots, where do you think price is going to go? It's going to correct right back up, right? So these here are still bullish on the higher time frames. 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour price is bullish here. So what do you think these lower time frames are going to do? They're probably going to follow in that direction. So these over here are currently neutral to bearish. However, the higher time frames here are still bullish. So we'll see what follows. If the higher time frames lead, which is more likely than not, that's the case. But the initial movement is going to happen here on the lower time frames. So just be patient, guys, and wait. Not necessarily the best time to enter any trades. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat, and then I'll answer whatever you guys need help with. Yeah, Daniel said the sell breakout today was a loss. Yeah, it's all good. It happens. You did have a good analysis there, though, Daniel. I did think price was going to come down. However, for me personally, I was looking for a buy all morning, so I probably would have sat out of that sell. But it did get close to it, right? I think you entered right here off the 630 candle. you got really close to the TP. It was like 400 pips. So like another 100 pips and you would have been good. But price over here faked out, shot up. I think this fake out right here happened a lot due to the news. So I think the news is what kind of screwed up your trade right there, Daniel. Because if you look over here at 645, see how the news candle is right here with the news price? Price was going in your favor. But as soon as the news candle came up right here at 645, it affected the market super heavily and pushed it up. And then again, over here, another news candle at 7 pushed price all the way down. So that's why I'm like very cautious whenever there's news happening, because it can make a big impact on the market. Hey, Gary, how's it going? Morning. Yeah, no problem. Gary said he joined late. Nothing for him today. It's all good. It's Friday. Another thing that you guys want to keep in mind is that Friday and Monday are like the riskier days of the week, right? Because on Friday, a lot of people are trying to get out of the market for the week. That's why you get a lot of a sell-off right here, because people are trying to pull out before we enter the weekend. Monday is the opposite. People are entering the market, so people are trying to set the positions for the week out. Yeah, exactly. So Maddie said on the V1 on the 1 minute is a sign of reversal, plus the higher time frame pivot rejections. Yeah, no, I can see that too, Maddie. So like what Maddie's looking at over here is he mentioned that he's looking for a V1 variation on the 1 minute to confirm the reversal. And then he's looking for the rejections over here on the higher time frames for confluence. So that's a smart decision too. That's why I like having these multiple time frames on here. You know, the real thing here is just really understanding where the market's going. For right now, there's no direction. The lower time frames over here are still bullish. The higher time frames are bullish, but the lower time frames over here are still indecisive. The 1 minute's obviously bearish. 5 minute here is attempting to be bearish. It's on its second candle below the pivots, and this 10 minute over here is the same thing. It's like right in between. So we just got to sit and wait for the most part. See David over here posted some profits. David said nothing crazy, but in profit. Hope next week market will behave. Have a great weekend. Definitely, David. So we'll see you back here on Monday. David over here locked in a total profit of 20, 30, 40, about $50 for the day, which is not bad. David's on a small account, so that's actually pretty decent. You know, if David was taking bigger lot size, he's only taking a 2 lot. I'm taking 100 lot, right? So he made about like 50 for the day. If you were to multiply that by 200, like, you know, taking the same lot size that we're all taking here, you'd be in profit like 10,000 for the day. So it's all good, David. You know, it's because you're trading on a smaller account. If you had a bigger account, obviously you make more, but it's all good. You don't necessarily have to, not just yet. All right, some profits here from CSUK. Profits are loading real quick. Once they load up, I'll show you guys what CSUK locked in for the day. However, there's still no direction with the market right now. So if there's any questions, guys, drop your questions in the chat. Otherwise, looks like we got some time until there's going to be a confirmation of, you know, direction here that we can look at. Here's a clean chart. As you guys can see, there's nothing going on here. Price just keeps going back and forth. Still a choppy market this week. The thing that you guys also want to keep in mind is that this is still technically February with regard to the trading week. So this trading week, March 1st, was on Wednesday. However, NFP is not this week. So this isn't the first week of March. The first week of March, or the first week of any month, is when NFP happens. So next week is going to be the actual first month of March's trading week, because we switched over midweek for this trading week. And I think the market next week will be a lot more volatile, a lot more directional, because we're going to have a lot more important news coming out. All right, C6 profits for the day over here, total profit of 5,100, all wins. As you guys can see, pretty much C6 let all of his trades run to TP except for this one right here, which he closed early. You can see the profit difference across the board as well. Made about well over 1,000 for the trades with the green strip, and then this one only 300. So solid work right there, Sisu. And then we have Eunice over here, total profit of 1,355 for the day, all wins as well. Great work, Eunice. All right, guys, did pretty good. Yeah, Eunice said profits for the week so far. So you had a pretty good week overall. All right, price is starting to swing to the upside. As you guys can see here, I marked up the rejection on the higher time frames on the 30-minute. Nice wick rejection right there. 4 hour right here, nice wick rejection right there. And the 2-hour over here, nice wick rejection right there. So what do you think price is going to do? I think price is attempting to make its way back to the upside, right? So as you guys can see, price is starting to shift higher and higher from where it's currently at. It hasn't confirmed the bullish bias yet, so we can't really look for entries for buys just yet, but we could anticipate that price is going to push up. So if you were to look for a speculative move here, you know, price is probably going to push up to the opening price right there. I wouldn't necessarily take it just yet. If you do have some sort of entry available, then yeah, maybe take it. But right now, nothing for me specifically to recommend anybody to take, because price is right at the pivots. There was a buy signal down here, so that could have been your catalyst for entry. However, I would have looked for some sort of confirmation below, like a double body, and then a buy signal for it to confirm to push to the upside. So we'll see where this goes. I've been yawning a lot this week. I don't know if it's because of the market or what, but market has been kind of boring, at least for me personally, because I like the days where we have a lot of opportunities, whether they be official or unofficial. But today, I mean, we're pretty much just analyzing the markets all throughout the day, right? It's just really looking for these opportunities, but there's no opportunities yet. Okay, price is now back above right here. As you can see, we have a buy signal here on the 5, and we have possibly a buy signal here appearing on the 10-minute as well. All right, perfect. So we got a pending buy signal over here on the 5-minute. Yeah, Maddie said 30-minute, 1-hour, huge wick rejections, getting a correction to the upside. Yeah, it's doing exactly what we anticipated. We had a bullish bias pretty much all morning, so we already anticipated price to push up from down here or wherever it was. And target price one, of course, is going to be opening price right there. So I'd be looking for a possible V1 variation somewhere for price to confirm, and then from there push to the upside even higher. All right. So there's no entries for us to take here, but we do expect price to push up higher. All right, so what I'll be looking for here personally is, I mean, there's no entries for us to take specifically, but I'll be looking for a V1 variation right here on the 1-minute to confirm the continuation to the upside. So we have the high established right here. As price continues to drop lower, we can get a possible V1 variation. And then from there, we can anticipate price to push back up higher to opening price at the very least. Because the target price point is going to be opening price right there, but you need some sort of catalyst pushing price up there. So if I see a V1 variation down here, then I'm expecting price to bounce from that point and then push back up to opening price there. And then maybe I'll probably look for some sort of speculative entry that I can hop into. But it looks pretty nice over here on these other time frames: 30-minute, 1-hour, and 2-hour. Nice confirmations right there of the wick rejections. Yeah, John says is if he sees a good SR rejection as well, he'll probably hop into that too. So yeah, I mean, if this here closes with a strong green candle, this will probably push up from that point. Dijon. Possibly. It's got 25 seconds left on it. Yeah, it's got to properly close. The one thing that you want to keep an eye out for too is that price is at the session. So risky area to be trading right there. Probably something I'd skip because it's like literally at the sessions. Yeah, wick on top is a little too big. Let's see, Maddie said I'd wait for the 5 minutes to reject off the pivot and close above. So let me go over here to the other chart. Yeah, the 5 minute here doesn't even look like it's going to close above it. I mean, we'll see. There's about 30 seconds left on it. Yeah, because if that's the case, then I'm still expecting price to push up to opening price. It's not that far from it. If you're only going for 100 pips, it's not really a huge risk on top of that anyway. So we'll see where this goes. I think if this candle here closes green, it could be a good opportunity, but probably not. Yeah, so it didn't even close green. So here's what Maddie was looking for. He was looking for price to close above the pivots, which it didn't. This is where it becomes a little risky because you have a wick rejection off top and you have a wick rejection off the bottom. So with that said, a lot of uncertainty there. Yeah, Maddie said he wouldn't have taken it. He would have taken it if it closed above as a speculation, but he didn't because it didn't close above it. All right, let's see. We got some more profits over here. So David said last number for shift, your strategies and patience are worth gold. Yeah, definitely, David. Thanks. So David over here took one more trade, made 76.20 off that. Now he's done for the day. So nice work, David. Yeah, I'll see you back here on Monday. Vincent over here said happy Friday. He took this buy over here, total profit of 92.88. This is the trade he took right here off that momentum scalp. You saw that breaking close past the, or actually not a momentum scalp, but he just caught the momentum push to the upside. That was his catalyst. And he had price break and close past the pivots, and he took that for a quick 100 pips. Nice work, Vincent. So as you guys can see, people are using different confluences. Like if you guys have been around and if you guys have actually practiced the strategies, there's a lot of different ways to identify these movements here. What Vincent saw here is he saw the buy signal here, so he knew momentum was pushing up. I already confirmed the overall bias here was bullish, and that price was likely to push up and touch the opening price, right? So what Vincent did is he used my analysis to his advantage. He saw price break and close past the pivots, and he took that for a quick buy right there. There's no official strategy for this, but I know what he did. He basically waited for a break and close past structure. So he had the buy signal right here. That was the catalyst that price was going to push up. He saw that price over here broke and closed past the pivots, and he took that for a buy. So as you guys can see, I can like read charts. If you guys show me what you guys take, I can, if you guys don't even have to tell me what you guys are doing, and I can read exactly what you guys looked at on the chart, because I created these strategies and I created these indicators, so I know exactly what everything is used for. All right, so looking at this over here. Yeah, Sam said I have my sessions off. So I do have my sessions off on the other charts. On the clean charts, I don't have my sessions on, but on my markup chart over here, I do have the sessions on. So the session is right there in that area. So it's not something I would personally take if, you know, if I saw anything in this area, but that's what Vincent said. He took the buy right here and price closed above it. So again, guys, you know, as I mentioned, these sessions here are like my red flags in general. So my whole red flags here, this is all optional. So it's up to you guys if you guys want to use it or not. Not everybody uses it. For me personally, I've lost a lot of trades trading around these areas, so I just skip them completely. But you guys will see people's markup sometimes, like Vincent's trade earlier for a buy there. I know there's a sessions right there, so I wouldn't have taken it, but he took it anyways. And, you know, good thing it did hit his TP. All right, so price is pushing back up higher right here. And there we go. It went straight to the target price point. So you can see that this open price right here, this is why this blue line is important, because it keeps acting as a target price point for whenever price needs to correct back up. Here's all the time frames. As you guys can see, price is now bullish. We have a pending buy signal over here on the 10-minute. I mean, we'll see where this ends up going. But yeah, looking over here, I think, see if there's any zones there. No, I was trying to see if there was one entry here that Dijon could have taken. Actually, he took this one right here, it looks like. So look at this zone over here that I drew, a small zone. And it's the SR rejection that Dijon was looking for. I know it was touching the session, so it's not one I would personally take, but we had the wick rejection right there. Somewhat of a strong candle. This was like a moderate candle because the wick on the bottom is big. The wick on top was a lot smaller than it. And it looks like Dijon probably took that for an SR rejection scalp. It's a quick profit. Nice. Yeah, Dijon said he entered that double body and pulled out. Rode that up pretty nicely. So nice work, Dijon. All right, price is now back up here, guys. Let me check the overall direction again. So it looks like we may have a overall direction here for a buy. This is kind of what we were waiting for all morning. As you guys can see over here on the 5-minute, the 5-minute has a pending buy signal. The 10-minute has a pending buy signal as well, but they have not closed yet. So the 5-minute over here had a pending buy signal, but it didn't close. We'll see if this here closes with the 10. I think it'll be a good thing if it does, because then we'll have momentum across the board. That's exactly what we need in order for us to start looking for any possible entries here for a momentum scalp or even a momentum scalp variation. So this one right here closed. That's perfect. Yeah, I'm expecting price to push up even higher from where it's currently at. It's probably going to push up and retest the high over here. It's kind of where I see price pushing up to. And I took a speculative move right there, guys. Hit my full TP, finally got that green strip. So the reason why I took this right here, guys, because I started seeing alignment right here. I saw the momentum over here close on the 5. I knew if this momentum was going to close, it was probably going to push up higher. And the target price point that I was looking for was here on the 1-minute. I was looking for price to push up to this area right here. So if you guys are listening to my analysis, you guys have an idea where price is going. When price closed above there, I caught that for a quick push. This isn't a type of move that a lot of people can take. If you guys know what to look out for here, you know, these highs here act as target price points. It's going to be like opening price in these areas here. So I took this for a quick speculative buy because I was only going for 100 pips. I knew price was going to push above there. The confluence I had for my entry here would be the 5-minute. This buy signal here closed, and this is actually where I took my entry. When this closed right here, I had to think quickly. Let me just rewind it real quick, because I saw a buy signal pending on the 5 and 10. I knew momentum there was going to be pushing price up, right? So right here, price closed. I went for a quick 100 pips because I knew price was going to push at least to the next target price point right here, right? The resistance. So I took it for a quick push. I probably could have held it longer because it pushed up pretty high, about 400 pips, but I only took it for 100 pips down here. So quick little opportunity right there for myself. Looks like MJ caught it as well. But again, guys, no official entries for today. If you guys listen to my analysis, you guys are going to be able to take these little speculative moves. I'm pretty much giving you guys a storyline as to what's going to play out here, right? I mentioned pretty much from the very first thing this morning, I mentioned price was going to be bullish because it was bullish across all time frames. Then middle of the session, I mentioned there was a rejection here on the wick off the 2-hour, rejection off the 1-hour, rejection off the 30-minute. So this confirmed the correction back to the upside. The entry that I just took right now, I mentioned that there was a buy signal here on the 5, a buy signal here on the 10. And I said, if these here close, either of them, it's going to be a good thing because we're going to have momentum pushing to the upside and we can start looking for buys. As soon as this one right here closed, I knew price was going to push up at least to this high right here. And that's where I caught it for a quick 100 pips, just straight push to the upside, lock in my 100 pips, and I'm out. And I actually got the green strip on that one, thankfully. So I'll go ahead and take a screenshot of my profits and we'll wait for any other entries that we can catch along the way. At the moment right now, unfortunately, you know, as you guys can see, there's no official entries. I wish there was official entries. Trust me, guys. I wish there was something we could take because I do want to have some stuff documented as official trades. But these profits that I'm taking right now, none of them are going to count towards the results because they're not official trades. They're just speculative trades that I'm identifying. And I'm pretty much explaining to you guys here on the live session. So finally made my full TP for the day. Man, it's been a pretty dry week so far for me specifically because I've just been playing it safe. But now that we have this bias over here, we need a sell signal so that we can start looking for some more entries to the upside. So basically now I'm looking for a sell signal to come up, confirm the retracement, and then I'll see if price pushes right back up. Another thing that you guys can look out for is look for a V1 variation as price pushes down below. That's going to be a reversal pattern. Wait for price to push above. And then if price breaks and closes past this high low right here, then this could be opportunity for a possible buy. You're using a double confluence right there for entry. So, all right, let me go and take the screenshot of my profits so far for the day. It's nothing crazy. I mean, I made about 2 wins for the day. Not official trade, just speculative. Let me see my MFF. They played out differently. Yeah, so I got to take a screenshot of all my accounts because they're all different. Some slippage on my MFFs, which are okay. Actually, a lot of slippage on MFF. Hey, CT, I'm not sure if you've been on MFF or because I know yesterday you noticed that the spread was super wide. I don't know if it's the same thing today. Just kind of curious why I'm getting smaller profits on my MFF today, but it just might be slippage or liquidity issues. Yeah, because CT took a screenshot of MFF yesterday. Spread was like 400 pips, which is crazy. Or I guess 44 pips. It's at 400 on MT4. All right, guys. So here's the profits across my accounts. I just took a screenshot. Sorry, it took so long. Here's my FTMO. This is my main account, my 400K. This is why I got this is where I got the green strip. Finally closed with the green strip right here. Total profit of 1,950 off this account. Here's my MFF number 1,580. I'm supposed to make 1,000 off the trade, but I made 8,800. I don't know if there's slippage or anything, but it is what it is. Here's my MFF number 2, 1,560. And then my MFF number 3, 1,540. So different profits across all my accounts so far. Just some slippage from my MFFs. But my FTMO is not as bad. Locking a full 1,000 on that one. See, so John over here posted his profits. He said up 3% this week on the challenge. Total profit of 1,260 for the day. Nice work, Dijon. Some profits over here from Vesson. So Vesson locked in a total profit of 91.53 for the day. Nice work, Vesson. Yeah, it looks like he had a loss last night on gold, but he made it right back right here. And then some more profit with us here on the live session for US30. Nice work, Vesson. We have Patricia over here, total profit of 3,850 cents for the day. Nice work, Patricia. That's weird that you got 50 cents. I haven't seen that in a long time where there's a cent profit on FTMO. I guess it happens, slippage. We have Seth over here, total profit of 7,262 for the day. Nice work, Seth, all wins. And then we have Natasha over here, total profit of 694 for the day. Nice work, Natasha. Let's see, we got Sisu over here, 6,250, all wins as well. Nice work, Sisu. All right, solid. So great work, guys. Clean this up a little bit right here. All right, so we got that buy signal right there on the 10, so that's perfect. We can probably start looking for official entries now because we do have the bullish momentum across the board. So it looks good over here on the higher time frame. So basically on the higher time frames, we have a bullish bias. Price is above the pivots, trend meters red. Price is above the pivots, trend meters green, and the pivots are angling up. So everything down here on the higher time frames is bullish. Same with the 1 minute over here and the lower time frames. 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10-minute time frames, all bullish. Price above the pivots, trend meter green, and the pivots are angling up. So we'll probably start looking for some possible entries here. However, we still have to be patient and aware of like the market conditions right now. because they're not super clear. Hey, Brock, how's it going? All right, so price over here is pushing around pretty heavily. I don't think there's any more news, but price is coming down kind of heavy right here. This is a possible momentum scalp failure entry, but it is on opening price, so it's a little risky to take. It's right here at opening price directly. Here goes, price pushes around. Looks like volume might be above average, so it's not, it probably will not qualify as a momentum scalp failure. Actually didn't even close. All right, another possible entry right here. Let's see, Alana just posted her. So she said, week so far, no trades Monday, low accuracy Tuesday, gave back profits on Wednesday, and probably not going to take anything else today. Yeah, probably a good idea, Alana. You know, this week hasn't been the best. Like, so just keep that in mind. It's still the last week of February. So, you know, don't let that discourage you or anybody else, because I think the market will pick back up next week, because next week's the first actual week of March. It's NFP week, so we'll have a lot more volatility next week. But yeah, this week's been super choppy. Yeah, not bad right here, Alana. It looks like, yeah, you did give away some profits over here, but you did, you know, kind of bounce around a bit. It's all good. It happens. Yeah, but this is good here. I'm glad that you're showing this, because this is going to be your accountability right here. Alana over here trades ES. So as I mentioned before, you know, someone asked me yesterday why I don't trade, why I prefer YM over ES. ES is cheaper and it moves a lot smoother. So as you guys can see, yeah, the market's kind of just been like all over the place. So Alana said no trades on Monday, some low accuracy on Tuesday. That's where she had a lot of losses here, unfortunately, but it happens. She gave back profits on Wednesday. She was in profit and then she started losing towards the end. And then over here, you know, same situation, she made it right back. So not bad, Alana. Here's Patrick over here. He said not his favorite week, but profit's profit, and he'll get it again next week. So Patrick over here locked in a total profit of 1,266 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. Yeah, no, it hasn't been a great week, guys. I mean, it's still technically February, so the entire month of February was super off, not too many good trades at all. This right here is a possible momentum scalp failure, guys. As you guys can see, I didn't take the trade here, but I'll mark it up for you guys to follow if you guys are in it. Yeah, so this here is technically still a momentum scalp failure. It's just not, you know, there just isn't any entries right there for now. So there's a momentum scalp failure here running. It's right at opening price though, so it's not one I would take. It would have to break past the opening price for it to hit its TP. So not an entry that I'm looking to take here. If price breaks and closes above the pivots though, that'll be a momentum scalp variation. I believe we do have a buy signal over here across the board. Yeah. So we have a buy signal here on the 10, buy signal here on the 5, and the buy signal on the 1 would be the catalyst. So I'm not in this position right here. It's too close to opening price. Volume was below average. So everything kind of lined up fine. It's just, you know, not the cleanest entry you'd want to take. Momentum scalp failure would be an entry if price breaks and closes past the pivots, but again, it's going to be right at this whole area of red flags. So even if we get even if we get price to break and close past the pivots over here, it's going to be caught at opening price and also at news price up here. So I don't even think we'll be able to take a momentum scalp variation. when it comes to that point. One thing that I can look for here is an SR rejection scalp. Yeah, I think this is probably the closest thing that you could look for if you're looking for something like that. Let's see. All right, so looking over here on the 2 hour, price is still rejecting off that pivot. The 1 hour over here as well, price is still rejecting off the pivot. The rejection over here is no longer available on the 30, but price may be rejecting off this higher pivot right there if it pushes back up. We also have a wick rejection off the 5, 10, and 1 over here. So this might be a confirmation of correction back to the upside. So you do have a nice rejection right there across the board. So price might push up right here and push back up to opening price. It's a little iffy though. See how far is it from opening price? Yeah, it's a little too close. Although it looks like it would probably hit if you guys did take the trade there for a buy, yeah, and push back up to open. It's just a little too close. Yeah, Maddie over here took it. So Maddie caught that wick rejection. As you guys can see over here, I marked it up for you guys. It was a nice wick rejection across all the time frames: 2 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 10 minute, 5 minute, and the 1 minute over here. So price pushed up. This would be the entry that we were looking for a momentum scalp variation. I mean, obviously I'm not going to take it here because it's right at the opening price, and this market sucks. It's every time we look for an entry here. So this is what I was waiting for. So the momentum scalp failure right here looks like it pushed back up and it hit TP right there. And then this next candle right here would have been the momentum scalp variation, right? That's the entry that we would have looked for to take. However, it's right at opening price, so it's not exactly in a good area for us to take entry. So it's all good. It's just frustrating because like you have all these entries that are coming up, but they're all at the red flags. So we've pretty much been waiting for this entry to come up right here. I wanted to take this entry here, but it's like literally at the red flag. I got to stay disciplined, so I'm not going to take the trade there. You can see how price gets manipulated around these areas. Whenever price gets near any of these horizontal lines, whether it be blue, pink, green, red, purple, you can see how price gets manipulated, right? So this is why I'm not in this position here, because then I've been some massive drawdown. If you go back and you just look at whenever price gets near these areas, like right here, see how price pushes up and it gets stuck, it just goes sideways. That's manipulation right there. Again, right here, price pushes up and gets near this pink line, it just goes sideways right there. So the last thing I want to do is enter a buy position right here, and then it just goes sideways on me. Even though this is probably gonna hit CP, it's at my red flag and I got to stay disciplined. So the thing with this here, guys, and a lot of people always try to criticize me on this, is like, they're like, oh, if you just took every trade, you'd hit your TP, right? But I don't want to get lucky on every trade. I want to know I'm going to hit the trade and I'm going to win. So I have a game plan here, right? Whenever I take these official trades, I keep in mind that I avoid red flags. Whenever price is near these areas, I just skip them completely, because this is typically where I lose trades. And then I follow these strategies here to the T. So what I recommend is that, when you guys are trading, if you guys haven't found consistency, just set up a trading plan and stick to the trading plan no matter what. Even if the trade looks good, don't enter the trade. Just wait for, the next entry to come up. And I think that's a problem with a lot of people. Like, a lot of people don't have, they say they have a trading plan, but if you look at their trades and their losses, they don't really have a trading plan, because they're kind of taking random trades here and there. For me personally, I'm very strict with my trading plan. That's how I became very consistent with my trading. That's how I'm able to trade live with you guys every day without making mistakes, because I just follow my plan as it's supposed to be executed. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you have a problem with your trading plan, guys, just show me your trading plan. Tell me what you guys are taking. Tell me what you're avoiding. And from there, we can make changes. So I feel like that's a problem with a lot of people. It's just consistency. All right, there's a possible momentum scalp coming up right here, but again, it's touching opening price, so not one that we can necessarily take. Yeah, because price is touching opening price right there, but if it does close with the buy signal, it's technically a momentum scalp entry. I also don't like how price is moving right now. Price has pretty much been going sideways for a bit. Yeah, Patricia said, thank you, Sean. I'm out. I don't like the way the market is moving. Yeah, I don't either. Patricia, I'm probably going to watch it, but I'm probably not going to take anything else because it's just going sideways right now. There's no volatility in the market. Price should be moving now. It's getting close to 8 though. So it looks like a lot of people are probably pulling out, or people are just sitting out until the next catalyst of movement. Dijon's asking, do I have opening price marked up incorrectly? Let me check mine, Dijon. It might be me. So let's see, open happened right here at 6:30. So mine looks fine, Dijon. Where's your opening price at? Yeah, you might have yours down here, right? So if the candle opened green, you put it down below, but this one here opened red, so you put it on top, since that's where it started at. I know I was making that mistake a couple of weeks ago too. So you're not alone, Dijon. It's all good. Sometimes people put it at the wrong point where they think price opens from. But all right, guys, it's 7:45 right now. It's about 15 minutes till 8. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Unfortunately, this week has been another choppy week. I was hoping that as we entered March, price would start to move directional. But the thing that you guys want to keep in mind that it is still February. February ended this week. So like next week's going to be the first actual week of March. Looking at our results for this week so far, guys, we just had one official trade. And I think that was on Monday. That was the one that I actually pulled out early on. So we had a breakout that hit CP the other day. I'm not counting that, of course. It's not an official entry. The only official entries are the ones that we're actually identifying and catching. So right here on Monday, I believe, yeah, Monday, there was only one official trade, which was this one over here. It was a momentum scalp variation, which hit TP. If you guys remember this trade, I pulled out early from this one, but everyone else held on to it and went straight to TP. So it took a long time for it to hit. This entry came up right here. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, about 20 minutes for this trade to hit a scalp, right? Our scalps are typically supposed to hit within the first couple of minutes, but that trade took about 20 minutes to hit. If you guys took the momentum scalp variation right here, guys, congrats, it hit your TP. And also there's another entry that came up right after momentum scalp that also hit TP. So if you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's okay. It's not going to count as an official trade because I didn't take it myself. The only trades that count here as official trades are the ones that fall under these requirements here and that I take on my own. So I didn't take this trade here, even though it did hit. Pretty much all three strategies here hit. The first one would be this momentum scalp failure here that I marked up earlier. I told you guys I wasn't taking that because it was too close to the opening price. If you took that trade there, full TP. If you guys took the next trade here, which was a momentum scalp variation, this right here also hit full TP. None of these trades are going to count, even though they did hit, because I didn't take them myself. Again, lastly over here, momentum scalp, another entry right there, full TP. So all three of these right here hit full TP. And they went exactly to where they were supposed to go. The only problem is that they were at red flags, right? So for me, that's why I couldn't take the trade here, because red flags. However, everything else over here lined up perfect. So other than that, let's see. Yeah, Dijon said he's going to call it a day. See y'all on Monday. Definitely, Dijon. We'll see you back here on Monday. Yeah, Maddie, identify the pivot rejection, momentum scalp, hits a news price. Nice work, Maddie. So Maddie actually caught that as well. So if you guys caught profits, I mean, great. Unfortunately, this week's just been choppy. Hopefully next week it'll be better. I think next week will be a lot better because it's NFP. So we're going to have a lot more movement tomorrow, a lot more direction. Christian said, I'm out, Sean. Thanks. Yeah, definitely, Christian. Good to see you here, bro. I haven't seen you here in a while. Hopefully you had fun on your trip yesterday. I was at a theme park too. I was at Universal Studios. You were at Animal Kingdom, right? Yeah, Maddie, we'll see you back here on Monday. Martha said she did not take the officials because of the red flags. Smart move. Martha. Maddie said, wonder what happened. He's out, bro. I'll message you after. He's like out. Sam said, sat on my hands this session, plus made a good profit in London. Yeah, probably smart decision right there too, Sam, for yourself to just sit out, especially if you don't see anything too clearly. Martha over here, she locked in one profit of 610 for the day. Nice work, Martha. Yeah, solid work right there. See if I can maybe add that to our profits over here. Oh, this is different. Whoops. Yeah, all right, guys. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Unfortunately, there was no official entries for today. I was really hoping we'd be able to close out this week with one more trade, but it's better be safe than sorry. I don't want to incur you guys any losses when we could just easily avoid them. Although all three trades here did hit CP, they were just at red flags. Some last profits over here from Maddie. Maddie's currently up well over 1,000 for the day, well over 14 or 12,000 for the week. Nice work, Maddie. Yeah, Maddie said 13.3K for the week. He's out for the day. Solid, Maddie. Vincent over here, he says he's really done now. He took this sell over here for that sell signal. Total profit of 127.62 cents for the day. Nice work, Vincent. We got some profits over here from Sisu. Total profit of 6,950 for the day. Nice work, Sisu. All right, solid profits right there. We got Barack over here. Total profit of 552 for the day. Just one trade. Surprised you just took one trade, Brock, but I'm glad that you're in profit. So great work right there. And Wesley over here with some London profits, 485 for the day. Nice work, Wesley. All right, guys. So I think that might be it for the day. Here's Kip. Kip also locked in a total profit of 4,026 for the day. Nice. And I think that might be it, guys. If you guys have more profits to post in, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, if you guys have any questions, you guys are welcome to message me on Telegram. My Telegram is at Kodi Kai Trades, or you guys can email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com, to get in touch with me. If you guys have anything to ask, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back here on Monday. I know it's 7:51 right now, but I think it's probably best time to just log off before you guys get some FOMO. Prices in between the opening price sessions and pivots right here. So I'm not really expecting too much to happen. Also, we have the Fed speaking at 8 o'clock. So you probably don't want to trade around that time. It's probably going to cause price to spike around a bit depending on what he says. I'm not sure what Logan is as a speaker, but you guys have seen a lot of crazy movement around FOMC. So, all right, guys, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here on Monday. Have a great weekend. Be safe. And we will pick back up for March week 1 next week for NFP. Hopefully market picks up and we'll have a direction. If not, we'll keep rolling with it. We'll find ways to make money in other analysis, but